here. So, it's a pediatrician, the professional who is asking questions is a pediatrician. So, they'll be asking about kids, children, and the conversation is with the mother of a 6-year-old boy called Daniel Lemmings. And so, even for the speaking subtest, you can use these same context and same questions you can use as you ask in such situations, same type of questions you can ask. And first step is to do the test under exam conditions. 30 golden seconds. I have explained the importance of this. And this 30 golden seconds decides your success in listening part A. So here you have. Now, you yourself will be doing it now under exam conditions. You will highlight as you have 30 seconds. Then you will listen. Then we will go forward. Okay? We'll begin the test. Write down the answers. If you don't have a hard copy, you can write down on the notebook. Have a notebook and pen with you. Keep smiling and listen.
Mrs. Lemmings, come in, please.
Sorry, I'll give you 30 seconds because introduction I have not taken to do it faster. So you have 30 seconds to highlight and understand what is it. If there are beginners, don't worry. We'll be explaining to you in detail. Now, this time is for you to read these. Just skim through the questions. Look at the words before and after the gap. After the gap that is mentioned here. Okay, listen now and try to find the answers, fill the gaps.
Mrs. Lemmings, come in, please. I believe you're here to see me about your son, Daniel.
Yes, he's 6 years old now, but I wanted to talk to you without him being here, at first anyway.
Yes, of course. So tell me what seems to be the problem.
Well, it's his hands. They're in really bad shape. It's mainly the skin, the way it looks. It's so cracked and dry. He's reluctant to complain about it, but I've managed to get him to tell me that it does hurt. Now, from what he says, I believe the pain is pretty much constant.
Right. Is this accompanied by any other symptoms?
Well, yes. Although there's no itching or anything like that, I mean, I've never seen him scratching them. But the most worrying thing is that there's even bleeding sometimes.
Right.
I just don't understand how they've got so bad.
So when did all this begin?
Oh, it's been months now. I thought it would clear up in the spring when the weather got warmer, because I initially put it down to that cold snap we had last winter.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, because that's when we first noticed it. But obviously I was wrong. I've tried to pin down what sets it off. And the thing I keep coming back to is all the hand washing. It makes it worse. And now I've tried to stop him, but it just upsets him if he can't do it. So we've, kind of given in.
Have you tried any treatments?
Oh, yes. We started with creams for dry skin, just about every remedy you can buy over the counter. And they all helped a bit, but not much. And once we'd exhausted all those options, we moved on to the home remedies from the internet. I read about things like getting him to wear silk gloves at night. Let me tell you, they weren't very practical.
Yes.
And he was okay with the petroleum jelly treatment, though, so that's one of the things that we still use now. But also his older sister Sarah has eczema, so another thing we're doing is using Sarah's aqueous cream.
Yes.
Sarah doesn't mind, but Daniel hates using his sister's stuff. And I don't want it to sound like I'm making things out to be worse than they actually are. It isn't always terrible. Some weeks are better than others. Like, for instance, during the school holidays, there's a definite improvement then.
Can you tell me a bit more background information about Daniel? How is he generally?
Well, in some ways he's fine. I mean, he's doing well at school, but his teachers have alluded to the fact that he's highly strung. That's definitely how I'd sum him up too. Take, for example, his tantrums. Last week, all hell broke loose because he had to go to the childminder on a different day. He spent the whole 3 hours there crying his eyes out. And this is a lady who's looked after him since he was 5 months old, so it's not like he doesn't know who she is.
Right. So he finds it hard to cope with change. Is that a fair assessment?
Well, yes, but it's not just that. When we go on a family day out, I now have to wrap all of his food in plastic cling film or he just won't eat it. He's convinced it'll have germs on it. Honestly, it's just making things impossible.
So what are your main concerns?
Well, I've done a fair bit of reading up on this, and that's why I wanted to come to see you by myself at first. I've heard about conditions such as Asperger's, but I don't honestly think it's that. What I am worried about is the possibility that this could be OCD, or at least the start of it. And what I'm worried about is what's the best way to handle it.
Well, you did the right thing coming to see me. What I would...
Okay, got it? You can type in the chat box the answers. Yes. But your answers coming fast, fast. Just type in, no need of number. You can just type in the answers in the chat box. Yes, we are waiting for your answers. Yeah. But cracked and try, yes. Cracked and try, first answer, constant, yes. Cracked and try, right? First one, crack and try. Second one, crack and try, constant, bleeding, night, winter, hand washing, petroleum jelly, aqueous cream, school holiday, Irish tongue, change, germs. Okay, great. Bleeding, cracked and dry, constant, bleeding, winter, hand washing, petroleum, jelly, stuff, holidays. Okay, good. Jelly, against cream, stuff, school holidays, strong, change, OCD. Okay. Right. Right. Yeah, and also you can just write in, if you made a mistake, you can just write in the question number. You know, write the answer so that I can make out where you had the mistake. Only the question number. 5, 6, 8, 10, 11. Only the question number you can type. You realized. Maybe that you can do after I show you the key. Okay, here is the answer. Just check out and type in the mistakes that you have. Just type in the number of the mistakes. The answer which you made a mistake, just the number. You know, type in the word, just the number. You made a mistake as regards question number 5. Just type in 5. 10 and 17, okay. Okay, 10 and 17 do again. 7, no, 10 and 7, sorry. Yeah, again 7. 7 is okay. Accused cream. Yeah. 6. Yeah. 7, 9. I'm asking you now to type in the mistakes, which answers were wrong, so that I know what strategy you don't understand. Yes, 7, 4, 9, 10, 11. Yes, 7, 8. Okay, I think 7, many of you made mistake because you may not know the name of the cream, I believe, could be the reason. If that is the case, only you have to improve your knowledge in medical profession. Otherwise, if you don't know the name of the cream, definitely you will not understand what they say. Okay, say 9. Father not visible. Answer is not visible. Let me know if the answer is not visible. Somebody says not visible. Is it there? You are. Maybe check out. Maybe you are.
Visible, Father.
Okay.
Visible.
Yeah. If somebody
Visible,
can't see,
Father.
yeah. If you can't see it, I'll read out. First answer is cracked and dry. Second one constant. Third one bleeding. Fourth one winter. Fifth one hand washing. Sixth petroleum jelly. 7 aqueous cream. 8 school holidays. 9 highly stung. 10 change. 11 germs. 12 OCD. Okay, let's learn how to do it now. Okay. So as we go into 30 golden minutes, how to tackle this. Now let me know, just type in what is to be highlighted here as you go with the 30 seconds thing. First answer, just read just before. And is both. Both means there are two things coming in the answer, right? Then second one, described as. You can see the same type of questions in all the materials, described as. Okay. Then accompanied by, occasionally accompanied by. One more symptom they are mentioning. So it must be a symptom. Daniel's condition began. When did it begin? The genesis of the condition, beginning of the condition. Initially, when they noticed it or something of that sort will be there. Symptoms worsened. Symptoms worsened by. Okay, then you have to read these side headings. Descriptions of physical complaint, treatments already tried. Okay. Then already tried, there are 3 segments over the counter. You don't have answers here. So at 30 seconds, don't look into those lines where there are no gaps. Okay. Wearing silk, all these 3 lines, don't even look into it. Just jump to the next one after 5. 6, treating with. Means they are speaking about treatments. You have to look into the side headings definitely. Then treating with, which means what will be the answer? Name of a medicine, right? Name of a medicine. Use sisters, his sisters.
Sisters.
Yeah, maybe again, name of the medicine. Because it comes under treatment. Seems to improve during. So improvement. When does the person seem to improve? Then background information is the side heading. Then suddenly go to 9. Don't read other things. People describe Daniel's character as. Again, you see, character as, described as. Like second one, again you have 9th one. Then Daniel finds tantrums, finds any dash to handle, hard to handle. He finds something hard to handle. Okay, some situation, something that happens to him, he cannot handle. Daniel is overly worried about. Worried about what? Okay, that on his food. So these are the things suddenly within 30 seconds you have to look into so that you know what you have to listen to. Then mother's concerns. Mother will be speaking about her concerns. And usually later on we will explain how the scale expressions, adjectives, and comparisons help you to listen and understand the answers. Mother's concerns, she worries he may be developing. Developing, name of a condition. Name of a condition. So easy. So what you have to do, beginners especially, and I mean everybody has to do it if you really want to read the real competency. Otherwise, you will have an illusion of competency. You do a lot of practice, then you think I am competent. No, that's only an illusion of competency. Real competency happens this way. So I am teaching you yet another strategy which I have now taught for the beginners, even others, if you have difficulty with the competence, you have to, as soon as you see this, you do it in under exam conditions, 30 golden seconds, highlight these things in the question booklet that you have, then listen to the audio, then check the key, as we have done all those 3 steps now. Then, and if you want to know all those 12 steps, we have already uploaded the video explaining every bit of it. You have to go as per those 12 steps. Now, as you come to this stage, after referring to the key and understanding, then you have to listen again to the audio. Listen again to the audio and try to understand where you made a mistake. Why did you make a mistake? Because already you know the answer. Already you have the answer. Then you listen again. After that, what you have to do? You have to listen for questions by the health professionals. You have to write down the questions asked by the health professionals. First question asked by the health professional is, tell me what seems to be the problem. So the person, the Lemmings mother, will be speaking about the problem of her child, 6-year-old child, Daniel Lemmings. Okay, even without listening, or if you do it even before listening, you should be able to foresee. If you're familiar with the first method I taught you, FILST, first method, first step is foreseeing. Second step is investigation. First, you have to foresee. See, they have come with a skin disease or skin problem. So how normally what a mother will speak about a skin problem? Just foresee. That might be right or wrong. Whether it is right or wrong, when you listen to, you'll have your focus. So then ask questions. Why, what, when, all these journalist questions, who, okay? Then second question is this accompanied by any other symptoms? So normally what will be the answers? Under this question, when the professional asks these questions, what will be the answers? Please type in the chat box. The first one, they speak about the problem, the skin condition, the disease, or the skin problem. Second one, what will be the answers? Is this accompanied by any other symptoms? Is the question from the health professional. Type in what will be the answer. Not name of the disease. What are they asking? I think all are very lazy to do anything. That's what I said. I'll stop these sessions probably. Since I'm giving too many sessions, you are taking it for granted. Okay. I don't see any answers. I'm asking what will be the, now this is the question asked by the health professional. Is this accompanied by any other symptoms? And what will be the answers? Nature of prayer? No. No.
Name of the symptoms.
Yeah, symptoms must be the answers, which means you aren't practicing at all what we are teaching you, because I've been telling you repeatedly. See, they're asking for symptoms and you have to answer symptoms. When when the health professional doctor asks the patient, what are the symptoms? They have to speak about the symptoms, nothing else. So answers will be symptoms. Third one, when did this all begin? So genesis of the issue. When did this condition begin? Fourth one, have you tried any treatments? Fourth one, have you tried any treatments? So what will be the answer at YouTube comment space? Please type in. For the fourth question, what will be the answer? Gaps, there will be gaps after this question. They will be speaking. What I have to listen for? Listen for what? Yeah. Name of the medication. Yeah. Medication name. Yeah. Medication name. But you are typing winter time and all those things. I don't understand. Whether you are following me. Okay. Fifth one, can you tell me a bit more background information about Daniel? Can you tell me a bit more background information about Daniel? How is he generally? Is asking about the background information about Daniel. They will speak about his character. Yeah, about his character. That will be something connected with the answer. Then sixth one. So he finds it hard to cope with change. Is that a fair assessment? Okay. So whatever he has said, the assessment is done. These are the questions that you can definitely ask in your speaking subtest. And if you do properly the listening part A, you are an expert in speaking subtest. All the questions you can collect like this and keep. So you have to write down these questions. Seventh question, last one. So what are your main concerns? So mother's concerns will be the answers, what she is concerned about. She might speak of 1 or 2 or 3 concerns. Out of them, 1 or 2 will be the gaps. Okay, now listening for side headings. In the booklet, there are side headings, right? And then questions in the audio, questions by the health professional. So you have to see this, the first side heading in the booklet today, the question booklet, description of physical complaints. And along with that, when you see this side heading, then connected questions are there. What seems to be the problem? They are asking about the description of physical complaint. What, any other symptoms, and when did this all begin? This is a description of the complaint. So what is the complaint and what are the symptoms? When did it begin or start? Then second side heading is in the question booklet. That the second side heading is treatments already received. And the question by the health professional is, have you tried any treatments? Then third side heading is background information. That is under that, the questions are asked by. These are the side headings you are going to look at during those 30 golden seconds. Now, background information under the side heading, you will have questions from the health professional. One question, background information about Daniel, how is he generally? Then how to cope with change assessment. Okay. Then mother's concerns. Last side heading, here is mother's concerns. And the question connected with its seventh question. So what are your main concerns? So what you see on the right side, questions bracket audio, these are the questions asked by the health professionals. On the left side, you have the side headings. Those are found in your question booklet. So this is another step you have to write down. Don't just look at it. You have to write down in your notebook. First, you have to write down only the questions. Then you have to connect it with the side headings. If you really are interested in the competence, otherwise you will keep on repeating the exams. That will not help you much. Okay, now you see here the description of physical complaint. You have all these things under the description of the complaint. Okay, and the questions, what seems to be the problem, any other symptoms, when did this all begin? So now let's having this in mind, let's listen once again only to that portion of the audio. Okay, and see occasionally in the audio you will see sometimes. And here you will listen in the fourth, you will be listening to some season or time. Whenever a condition, they ask when did it begin? You have to say yesterday, day before yesterday, last week, last month, or last summer. So you have to listen for a season or time. Okay, listen now once again with that in mind, this side heading and these questions. And see the connection of the questions.
Occupational English Test to 24, complete 1 to 12, complete the notes.
Come in, please. I believe you're here to see me about your son, Daniel.
Yes, he's 6 years old now, but I wanted to talk to you without him being here, at first anyway.
Yes, of course. So tell me what seems to be the problem.
Well, it's his hands. They're in really bad shape. It's mainly the skin, the way it looks. It's so cracked and dry. He's reluctant to complain about it, but I've managed to get him to tell me that it does hurt. Now, from what he says, I believe the pain is pretty much constant.
Right. Is this accompanied by any other symptoms?
Well, yes. Although there's no itching or anything like that, I mean, I've never seen him scratching them. But the most worrying thing is that there's even bleeding sometimes.
Right.
Right. I just don't understand how they've got so bad.
So when did all this begin?
Oh, it's been months now. I thought it would clear up in the spring when the weather got warmer, because I initially put it down to that cold snap we had last winter.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, because that's when we first noticed it. But obviously I was wrong. I've tried to pin down what sets it off, and the thing I keep coming back to is all the hand washing. It makes it worse. And now I've tried to stop him, but it just upsets him if he can't do it.
Occupational.
Yes. So you got it?
Yes, Father.
Occupational
Yes,
English
Yes,
Test.
yes, Father. Yes, Father.
Yes. Description of physical complaint. What seems to be the problem? Skin on Daniel's hands is both. Both means the crack will have two things. So cracked and dry. Daniel's pain described as constant. It's very clear there. Any other symptoms? Then you have these questions, no itching or scratching. They mention it there. Occasionally, sometimes accompanied by bleeding, sometimes in the audio. Then when did this all begin? Daniel's condition began last winter. Daniel's symptoms worsened by hand washing. Okay. Now, just check out this. Okay. Treatments already received. The next segment. Okay. Treatments already received or already tried. Now, what you have to understand is this. When they speak about treatments, they are speaking about the over-the-counter treatment, home remedies, then other things. So that order, the flow, you should be in your mind as you glance through. Now you see that is given in the question booklet. These are on the right side, you can see the question booklet. See over-the-counter remedies. When they speak about over-the-counter remedies, you need not bother at all because there is no question under that. And you can be relaxing at that time. Then they come to home remedies. After that, when they speak about wearing silk gloves at night, from there you need to listen very carefully. Until then, you can be very cool as you glance through during 30 golden seconds. You have to find out this. Okay, wearing silk gloves is the point where I have to be very careful. And from there, we have the answers. So just listen. Let me try if I can bring in that version properly.
And now,
Have you tried any treatments?
oh yes, we started with creams for dry skin, just about every remedy you can buy over the counter. And they all helped a bit, but not much. And once we'd exhausted all those options, we moved on to the home remedies from the internet. I read about things like getting him to wear silk gloves at night. Let me tell you, they weren't very practical.
Yes.
And he was okay with the petroleum jelly treatment, though, so that's one of the things that we still use now. But also his older sister Sarah has eczema, so another thing we're doing is using Sarah's aqueous cream.
Yes.
Sarah doesn't mind, but Daniel hates using his sister's stuff. And I don't want it to sound like I'm making things out to be worse than they actually are. It isn't always terrible. Some weeks are better than others. Like, for instance, during the school holidays, there's a definite improvement then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So see the flow. Hope you are getting it. The flow, we'll try once I escape the screen. Yes, let me check if I can. Where am I? One check. Okay. We'll just duplicate it. One check. Yeah. Now you see, here what you have to do, side heading, you can see this is the side heading in the question booklet. And the question is, have you tried any treatments? So what you have to do, you have to see this flow. Here you can see over the counter treatment. Then you have, I'm just removing whatever is in between. Then you have home remedies. They're asking what are the treatments that you have undergone. So they are speaking about the treatments. One is over the counter. Second one is home remedies, which they tried. Then under the home remedies from the internet, I read about things like this. Getting him to see under the home remedies you have wearing the silk glove. Okay, that's not practical, they say, so it's not important, and they have given it there. Now second one, petroleum jelly.
Petroleum jelly.
Yes. Yes. And then you have third one. See, using Sarah's aqueous cream. Then you have the fourth one, like for instance, the question, the example gives another answer. So you see the beauty of the paragraph. This is how you have to summarize it. And I asked you to summarize in the first method, FILST method, for seeing Investigating means asking all the journalist questions: what, when, why, how, who. Then listening, then summarizing and speaking out with your learning partner. This is how you have to summarize. You have to answer the questions as a summary in your own words. Maybe you'll be able to say, your learning partner will ask one day, maybe as you have this practice, what were the treatments tried by Daniel's mother? Okay, then you'll say, Daniel's mother tried various types of treatments. She tried over-the-counter medicines. Then secondly, she tried some home remedies like wearing silk gloves at night, which was not practical. Then secondly, petroleum jelly, which Daniel was very happy to use. Third one, then you have to visualize. Petroleum jelly is something cool and nice. So he was so happy to use it, and he was just to visualize like this, as if he is putting on his full hand the whole jelly, which was to be used for a month. He takes it and applies on his. So visualize it with some crazy idea, so that you will listen and understand. As you listen, you will be able to visualize. And third one, using Sarah's his sister's aqueous cream. That's how you have to. Then, like for instance, during the school holidays, they used to actually improve. Actually, his condition used to improve. There's a sweet, simple summary of that particular audio extract portion. Like this, you can make the whole extract. If it is running into 700 words, you can make into 200 words. Okay. Let there be mistakes, no problem. Just speak out, that's all. Okay. So you had it. And now you can read this. And I'll give you the bigger screen. Yes. Listen to the audio and read, okay? You can see the screen, isn't it? Should I make it bigger?
I can see further.
Visible further.
Okay, now it will be quite visible. Okay, listen, read, and highlight or write down important things, okay? This is a condition. Have you tried? We'll start from there, but to go to the other segment.
Oh, it's been months now. I thought it could clear up in the spring when the weather got warmer, because I initially put it down to that cold snap we had last winter.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, because that's when we first noticed it. But obviously I was wrong. I've tried to pin down what sets it off, and the thing I keep coming back to is all the hand washing. It makes it worse. And now I've tried to stop him, but it just upsets him if he can't do it, so we've, well, kind of given in.
Yeah,
Have you tried any treatments?
Oh, yes. We started with creams for dry skin, you know, just about every remedy you can buy over the counter. And they all helped a bit, but not much. And once we'd exhausted all those options, we moved on to the home remedies from the internet. I read about things like getting him to wear silk gloves at night. Let me tell you, they weren't very practical.
Yes.
And he was okay with the petroleum jelly treatment, though, so that's one of the things that we still use now. But also his older sister Sarah has eczema, so another thing we're doing is using Sarah's aqueous cream.
Yes.
Sarah doesn't mind, but Daniel hates using his sister's stuff. And I don't want it to sound like I'm making things out to be worse than they actually are. It isn't always terrible. Some weeks are better than others. Like, for instance, during the school holidays, there's a definite improvement then.
Can you tell me a bit more background information about Daniel? How is he generally?
Well, in some ways he's fine. I mean, he's doing well at school, but his teachers have alluded to the fact that he's highly strung. That's definitely how I'd sum him up too. Take, for example, his tantrums. Last week, all hell broke loose because he had to go to the childminder on a different day. He spent the whole 3 hours there crying his eyes out. And this is a lady who's looked after him since he was 5 months old, so it's not like he doesn't know who she is.
Right. So he finds it hard to cope with change. Is that a fair assessment?
Well, yes, but it's not just that. When we go on a family day out, I now have to wrap all of his food in plastic cling film or he just won't eat it. He's convinced it'll have germs on it. Honestly, it's just making things impossible.
So what are your main concerns?
Well, I've done a fair bit of reading up on this, and that's why I wanted to come to see you by myself at first. I've heard about conditions such as Asperger's, but I don't honestly think it's that. What I am worried about is the possibility that this could be OCD, or at least the start of it. And what I'm worried about is what's the best way to handle it?
Well, you did the right thing coming to see me.
Okay. So you got it. So you have background information and the questions, two questions there. First the question, background information about Daniel, how is he generally, how to cope with change, is it a fair assessment? Okay. So as you listen, you have to find these things. You have to write out, summarize, and you got almost everybody got the right answer. So I'm not going into details of that. Okay. This is how it goes. The pain is pretty much constant. This is accompanied by the symptoms. Most, usually these most scale expressions will tell you actually answer is somewhere around there. Although there is no itching or anything like that, these tactics they commonly use, you should be very watchful, because now you say they're asking about symptoms. Let me listen to symptoms. You'll hear, okay, itching. Okay. But then they are saying, although there is no itching. So that can never be the answer. I have never seen him scratching, which means there is no itching at all. But after the contrast word, you remember, after the contrast word, whether it is in listening, reading, wherever it is, usually it is signal. What comes next is important. The most, you have again a scale. Most worrying thing is that there is even bleeding. That is answer. So before that you have a contrast word, you have a scale. So that tells you, and there is a stress given on that. When did all this begin? Okay. Then winter, the season is given. All the hand washing, before that again one scale is given, all the hand washing. So these things also assist you to understand and listen properly to the answers. Okay, that's it. Do you have any concerns? Okay. Any concerns about any questions?
Father, can you show the slide for asking questions?
Asking questions. This one you mean?
Yes, Father.
See, if you try writing down these things in your notebook, you can keep a diary of these questions. These are the exact questions you need to ask. Maybe this type of questions, depending on the condition. If you start from the beginning, definitely by the end you have all types of questions at your diary. For speaking subtest, you know how to respond. Actually, you are playing the role of a health professional here. With this a consultation, and your speaking subtest is a consultation exactly of this duration, 5 minutes. So how easily you can club these practices, okay? And also that gives you a clear idea when you write down before you listen, your brain will be very alert to listen to the audio. Any other slides you need to revisit? Yes. At YouTube, difficult to see the, so please make screen as much as big. Okay. You can also, if you are using your phone, you can just, you can make the screen in your phone itself. You can just do like this. You can touch with the 2 fingers and make it big. Now we'll definitely, that's why I was making big. This is because I've already seen these questions. It's just a revisit to that. And many will be posting the screenshots in the main platform. So if you miss something, you can take it from there as well. Difficult to see the word. So please make, Nisha, just clear further. Okay. Actually, I had ready the other one also, second extract also. But then I'm not going with that because I don't find actual interest in majority. Now you see out of 311, we have only 76 left, others left. Okay. Out of, actually we started with, initially we had sessions with 900 plus, aspirants attending. Now this has come down to 300, and out of them within half an hour, almost like 225, 230 people have left, which shows people are not very serious about learning. So what should we do? You have to give your suggestions, otherwise we'll be suspending the upcoming sessions. Even in the batch, I don't see that interest, because when I ask you to go and teach at least one small learning in the main platform, you are not interested to teach. Okay, so you need to give me the response, the actual response for that. Otherwise, we'll be suspending upcoming sessions. You can go and visit the videos and watch and learn probably. Because when we spend admins, everybody, we make all these PPTs, we spend a lot of time. You aren't ready to even listen properly and respond. Okay, when you are not able to respond, we find it hard to know your competency. No, you can't make a mistake. There's a wrong impression they have to have. Somebody is asking some other spelling for a screen. These medicines and conditions should be, spelling should be correct. Okay, because you are supposed to, as an health professional, you are supposed to. And where they allow a spelling mistake is when there are two letters. Okay, better, B-E-T-T-E-R. Maybe if you miss one T, that doesn't change the pronunciation, that doesn't change the meaning. So that may be tolerated, but don't take that advantage. Write the correct spelling. Spelling mistakes will definitely, that's a wrong impression people have in listening part, you can make spelling mistakes. No, it's not expected of you. No spellings, that's why we have 120 seconds. At the end, look into every word and just check the spellings. Okay. So you are supposed to write the correct spellings. Only minor spelling mistakes where doesn't change the pronunciation as well as doesn't change the meaning, it's allowed. This continuous session, but when we spend time, we don't feel that feedback, nothing we get using my phone, my challenge. Yeah, if your challenge is using your phone, you can send me, courier me your phone, right? Okay. Sorry, I can understand. Maybe you are not familiar with using your phone, but don't worry, you can download and take the photocopies. And I wanted some volunteers, I requested, but only two of them wanted to help me out. Otherwise, I'd have given you ready-made all the printed ebook about all my explanations and things, which is also a process of learning, but everybody is selfish. No, you can't use abbreviations for vitamins. You can use, but you will not get score. There is no restriction you should not use. You can't use them. Only if abbreviation is given in the audio, you can use the abbreviation here. Just imagine it's all like in the reading, it's a copy and paste. Exactly what he said. Here also exactly what he said. Telling that there is a small mistakes are condoned, don't try to make mistakes, you will lose the score. And simple professional medicine names or condition names like diabetes, blood pressure, what else? Some meningitis. If you make a mistake, definitely there will not give you a score because you are supposed to know those spellings.